Welcome to Prophesy, an intuitive, high-performance analytics platform. Whether you are a small organization or large, Prophesy can help you unlock the insights in your data by putting the power of modern analytical methods into your hands. In this video, we will focus on how to use Prophecy's analysis to improve your decision-making speed and quality. If you'd like more details on how to operate the software, watch the video Prophecy Hands-On Tutorial. Prophecy performs two types of analysis: estimation and classification. Estimation is a quantitative prediction. The outcome is a number. Classification predicts whether anything belongs to a defined category. The outcome is a true, false, or yes/no answer. Some typical estimation questions are: how much will a customer spend with us? How much business will a salesperson generate? What percentage of customers will close their accounts? Some typical classification questions are: will a customer default on their loans? Will a customer renew their contract? Will an employee leave? In either case, you provide Prophecy with an input table and specify what you're trying to predict. Prophecy identifies the factors that lead to favorable and unfavorable outcomes. To illustrate Prophecy's capabilities, we use a case study from the financial services industry. The company is a Fortune 500 financial services firm. They have two product lines, which we identify as Product A and Product B. Product B has higher volumes and a lower price compared to Product B. They sell their products through independent distributors. Over the past few years, some distributors experienced significant drops in quarterly sales. The company attempted to solve this problem through price reductions and distributor incentives, but they were unable to identify what impact these changes were having. They control some business factors such as price changes and distribution incentives, but not others such as distributor hiring, retention, and staffing practices. Prophecy helped them identify some patterns and indications of significant sale drops. The analysis was completed in a few days at a fraction of the cost of other alternatives. As a result, they are taking a fresh look at their pricing and incentive strategies. Using insights generated by Prophecy, they plan on a more targeted set of programs that have a much higher likelihood of achieving positive results, and they are eliminating other less successful programs. In structuring the analysis, we had to define what constituted a significant drop in revenues. Company management felt that 10% was an appropriate threshold, so our goal was to find factors that indicated a distributor was likely to experience a sales drop of 10% or more. From this point on, when I say a significant drop, you can take it to mean drop of at least 10%. Having defined our target outcome, we needed to define data to support the analysis. Before conducting the analysis, we collected data from 4 sources into a single CSV formatted file: distributor staffing, distributor business mix, incentives, and pricing changes. I won't go into too many details about the file structure, but let me make some overall comments about the data. There are 4,290 observations and 19 variables. One of the variables is the variable we're trying to predict. Will this distributor have a sales drop of 10% or more? This is called the dependent variable. The dataset is required to have one and only one dependent variable. The remaining columns are the independent variables. Prophecy evaluates all independent variables when building the models, selecting those that have the most analytical value. We have already loaded this data into Prophecy and run the analysis. Now, let's look at the results. The first thing to consider is the predictive score, which is a unique analytical feature developed by Deep Blue. This score, 0.9, indicates that we can use patterns in the data to help identify risk of significant drops. A low score, such as 0.2, would tell us the data is random and contains few, if any, useful insights. The score is a good first step in evaluating whether it's worthwhile for us to invest further time and effort investigating this data. Having determined that the data contains potentially useful insights, let's see what they are. You are now looking at the Insights tab. On the left side of the page, you can see summary statistics for the full data set. We have a total of 4,290 observations, 19% of which had a significant drop. On the right side, you can see the insights that Prophecy generated. In the background, Prophecy examined the millions of combinations of variable values. Using the logical patterns in the data, it constructed these insights. The insights are organized into two lists: non-favorable, with significant drop rates greater than 19%, and favorable, with significant drop rates less than 19%. We're currently looking at the non-favorable tab. How can we use this information? Let's illustrate with a specific insight. The second segment on this page has 182 observations. 47.3% of those experienced a significant drop. The distributors in this segment met three criteria. They've generated more than 3% of their revenue from product B. They had no price change in the most recent quarter, and they've not had a price change in more than 4 quarters. The segment was automatically generated by Prophesy, but is there an underlying business logic for this grouping? The executive sponsors interpreted the findings in this way. Product B requires a higher financial commitment from clients. If a distributor has a higher percentage of revenue from this product, and they've not experienced a price reduction in a year, they may have saturated their potential customer base and are experiencing difficulty in finding new clients. Managing is considering two options to help distributors with a high percentage of revenues from product B when there's been a significant length of time since price changes. Increasing market support so that they can prospect new customers more effectively, and offering them additional compensation so they're more motivated to sell the product. Now let's take a look at one of the favorable segments. The first segment on this page shows us that in 286 cases when there was a price reduction of 10% or more, there was no significant sales drop. This makes intuitive sense. You would not expect a significant drop in sales to accompany a significant price drop. Management is reviewing their pricing and incentive strategies. What this insight suggests is that when the company has a major price reduction, they should eliminate existing distributor incentives, or at a minimum add no new ones. To summarize, you can use the Insights page to identify conditions that indicate a much better or worse response than average, and develop action plans to take advantage of that knowledge. Now, let's look at the Influencers page. The Influencers page shows the impact of individual independent variables in isolation from other independent variables. So, for example, on the display being shown, here's the impact of the percentage of product B in the mix on the significant drop in sales if all other independent variables were held equal. So you can see that if everything else was the same, a low level of product B in the mix would have a lower impact on significant drops in sales, and an increased level of product B in the mix would have a higher impact on significant drops in sales. The last page in the Analysis tab is the Models page. Prophesy is a sophisticated mechanism for finding the best analytical model for the data. It simultaneously tests 14 algorithms against the data, calibrating and tuning each one independently, and then selecting the best performer. These algorithms were developed by some of the best minds in academia, and we are constantly evaluating new ones for inclusion. We use cloud-based, massively parallel computing to deliver high performance while keeping costs low. This allows Prophesy to test, evaluate, and rank the methods and select the best one in a fraction of the time of other platforms, and enables your analysis team to significantly enhance their productivity. Once you have developed and are satisfied with your analytical model, you can use it to generate predictions on a new data set. First, you specify the new data set, which should have the same structure as the data used to build the model. In this case, I've selected a file called applymodeldistributor.csv. Second, you specify the data set used to build the model. In this case, we're using the same data set we've been using throughout this video. Finally, you specify which model to use. Either the best model is chosen by Prophesy, or one of the others that it used in selecting the best model. In a few seconds, Prophesy generates a new CSV file with the input values plus the predicted values for the dependent variable. This file can be reviewed in Excel or imported into other analytical or reporting tools. You can also connect the model directly with your enterprise systems such as sales or CRM and allow them to interact in real time through machine-to-machine communications. This eliminates the need to continually generate the predictions manually for connection to your other systems. How accurate are these predictions? Let's take a look at the results. The new test database had 433 distributors. if we used a simple method of just using our average drop rate to make the predictions, we would have predicted 82 drops, or 19% of the 433. 16 of those 82, or 19%, would have been accurate. So in other words, we would have predicted 16 out of the total of 140 that actually turned out to be drops. On the right, we show Prophecy's predictions using the insights that were generated. In this case, we predicted 100 drops against the actual count of 140 versus 82 using the average drop rate. And of those 100, we were correct 57% of the time. So you can see a significant improvement using Prophecy's modeling versus just using the average rate. Using the average rate, we would have predicted 16 out of 140 of the actual drops. Using Prophecy, we predicted 57 out of 140. For the past few minutes, we have demonstrated Prophecy's analytical process using a case study. We conclude this video by briefly summarizing the process. We began by looking at the predictive score, which confirmed that there was a strong signal in the data. We looked at specific insights generated by the system. We looked at individual variables to understand their explanatory power. Finally, we looked at the models that Prophecy tested to understand how it selected the best one. This process is not static. It doesn't end after the first time you build a model and generate a prediction. It's iterative. As new data becomes available, you repeat the process. Conditions can change, and the analytic process reflects that. Thank you for listening to this video. We hope you found it informative. If you'd like to learn more, please go on to our website, prophecy.deepblueanalytics.com. We invite you to set up a trial account, and we also invite you to listen to the next video in the series, which gives you a hands-on tutorial on how to use Prophecy. Thank you.